Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Notable Flow Watch List recap. Tonight, we are going to be covering a couple stocks that caught my eye today. So let's get this party started. So what do we have? We got ARK 38 puts for 421 expiration, 3.47 million. These are, 421 expiration. Okay, I thought I didn't write the date. Yeah, 3.47 million in premium. These are adjusted from the March expirations, so they rolled it. EDR 22.5 calls, 519 expiration for over 2.29 million. FHN 20 puts for 317 expiration, getting rolled to the 1215 expiration for over 383,000. AEHR, I think a lot of people have an eye on this stock. 45 calls for 616 expiration, 233,000. Amazon 89 puts for 616 expiration, 2.6 million. And the stock that's been heard around the whole world, SI 13 puts, 310 expiration, 448,000. I'm not even going to bother reviewing this one. I just wanted to add it to the video because stock is down over 30%, and this is the power of unusual whales, where if you can spot the right flow, you can hit nasty bangers. So let's get started. Let's do ARK first. Let's put it on flow and see what I saw. As you can see, the 324 puts right here, 38, they're being adjusted to 38 puts. If you actually open it up on the multi-leg, it's not this one. Where is it? Oh, here's the roll. Here's the roll right here. So this is going to be the adjusted one. So 38 puts, they're selling the 36 puts as a finance. So if we look on the chart, where does ARK need to be? Where does ARK need to go? You can kind of see that it's an ascending trend line right here. It's breaking below, but if let's just get rid of this and start fresh. So we do have a support around, well, it hit the low of 38.43, right? That's actually been a resistance back in December 12th. And obviously, it could not break multiple times and pushed lower. So now we're at that same spot. So if it breaks 38.38, there is a tiny support here at 37.94. Not necessarily a bear flag or anything, but I would say, I mean, it could technically, if it breaks this trend line, right, below 38.38, I would expect it to hit the 50 SMA, right? And now Tesla after hours, Tesla's a pretty big holding in ARK. Not that it always moves conjunctly into this ETF, but Tesla is down a decent amount after hours. So we'll have to see if 38.38 gets broken. So if it does, I would expect it to fill around this range right here. It's around the 50 SMA. So that is ARK for you. EDR definitely struck my eyes. So we first saw 19,000 size, 2.47 million, 20,000 in volume. And as you can see, volume has been increasing, right? Premiums have been increasing. So they kept buying this contract at the ask, right? Massive ask volume, massive call volume, right? I mean, like 89% bull, 91% at the ask. Volume keeps increasing. When you see something like this is huge, right? This is absolutely huge, okay? So even these guys, what they're doing, they're actually turning to a call debit spread, right? They're buying the 22.5 calls and they're selling the 25 calls, right? To make it a cheaper strategy, right? So this is obviously caught my eye. I mean, look at the call volume, 33, almost 34,000 in call volume to 1,000 put volume. Now, what does the chart say? Does the chart say that we can go long? Oh, we have a crazy candle, right? For this crazy candle, I think. So earnings are out the way, right? We closed at 22.05. Okay, so the 8 SMA is at 22.1. Hit a high of 22.49 and hit a low of 20.07. So this is a very volatile movement today. So it's above the 21 SMA, right? It's above the 200, it's above the 50. What I'd like you to see is hit the highs of 22.49, right? There has been some rejection here. Rejection. So it can't really push through. So 22.49 is going to be a key. If it breaks, I would expect it to hit 22.83, this wick right here, right? So we see having some struggle in this area as well, right? So, and it has been consolidating for a decent amount of time. So, I mean, once it breaks this range, this can move. I mean, the moving averages are kind of curling to the upside as well. So someone is betting that, I mean, 25 calls, right? Or 22 and a half calls, my apologies. So they don't need that big of a move, but they also have time on these contracts. They will like to get this stock out of this range. Okay, so 22.81 is showing a pretty good resistance here. So that's a big level to watch. You know, as a support, I would start out with 21.08, but it did hit a low of 20.7. So if it breaks below 20.7, I mean, this could head down to low 20s, maybe a high 19s. So keep an eye out for EDR. Okay, FHN. This was another stock that was getting hit hard on the put side. I think I had a rough day today. Okay, I didn't put FH, I put F. As you can see, massive puts, right? So we got the 20 puts here for 317, and they ended up rolling these, right? They rolled these to the 18 puts for 1215 expiration for 5,000 in size, 500,000 in premium. Okay, so again, these are pretty massive put orders. So they're expecting more downside, obviously, because they're rolling it into December expiration and a lower strike as well. Stock was down 10.62% today, down another 1% after hours. Let's see what the chart is telling us for FHN. I believe this had a nasty daily candle as well. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty insane. So hit a high of 22.5, hit a low of 20.7. So again, I mean, you can actually see this support back at 9.7, right? And this resistance here finally broke through, bounce, push. So 22.5, this could be a good stop to have, right? If the stock goes above 22.5, this could be a great stop, right? If it breaks below 20.69, I mean, you'll have the lows of 20.48, right? Now, if you go on the weekly, look at the gap. So if it breaks 20. What did I just say? 20.48, there is some room here. There was a previous resistance back in May, push all the way down, right? So you have this whole area that could fill, okay? So below 20.47, this will be your first target, 19.46. So this is a nasty week. Now, so what do we close at? We close at 22.14, below the 50, below the 21, below the 8. 21 seems like it's crossing the 8. That's never good as a bull. So the flow is saying bearish. Let's see what happens to this. This is a good setup. AEHR. Oh, 7.92% today. I did see some 45 calls for June. Yep, an extra 92,000 came in as well, 233,000. You're also buying the 40 calls for shorter term, 317 expiration. So again, bullish positioning. Call volume much greater than the put volume. As you can see, call premium to put premium significantly on the bull side. So if we look at AEHR, and I like these contracts that have time, right? They're giving themselves time. Let's just go on the daily for now. The daily chart, we're kind of, I mean, it's held the lows here, right? Around 29. Oh, yeah, yeah. So we got the 8 SMA 33.07 acting as support, riding along the 8, riding along the 21. This is always good. You have the highs of 37.57. You got some support here. Let's use this right here. Was this? So 30.08 on the daily. Do have some support here at this candle, but it did break below on 2.9. As you can see, held support here, but broke down, right? This was acting as resistance, and it finally pushed higher. So again, riding along the 8, riding along the 21. This looks like a nice setup for the bulls, right? I mean, you got some small resistance around 36.61. So as long as it breaks 36.61, look for the highs of 37.57. And I believe this is at, yeah, this is at the absolute highs. So if it breaks 36.61, this has got a lot of room to go. So again, it's always nice to be above the moving averages as well. The 8 SMA, the 21 SMA, the 50 SMA. Great looking chart. Maybe there's a slight pullback tomorrow, but could be a great place to enter. Amazon. We saw 89 puts for 6/16 expiration. If I can find it. This was in the morning. There we go. Here we go. 2.73 million in premium, 4,900 in volume, 3,200 in open interest. So we see a notional buyer here, 2.55 million at the ask. So obviously someone is expecting a drop of what is that, $4 by June. So that's going to be, I forgot, where is my out the money percentage? Okay, anyway, I don't want to do math. So again, a $4 drop. So if you go on the chart, what do we got? Oh my God, what a mess. All right, so we got support 91.54, right? Held here. So it was holding here. We finally broke below back in December, as you can see. So it's been a pretty nasty support right here, bounced and pushed higher. So kind of a make it or break it, right? If we break 91.54, we got some room to 87, right? We're trading below the 50 SMA, below the 8, below the 21, obviously below the 200, right? So we have, oh, I did not want to do that. So we had some consolidation here, right? And now you're back square one. See this bounce right here on 125? Well, back to square one, right? So if we break below, and trading below the 50 SMA is never good, right? For a bull. If you want to be a bull, you have to reclaim this. So there is resistance. Oh, around 94.76. So this put will hurt if it hits above 94.76, right? If it breaks below 91.54, you got all this space, right? So you got 91 all the way to the 87. If it breaks 87, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits the lows of 81. So that's Amazon. So they are putting a time as insurance, right? They're going to let this trade work, right? If it goes above 94.76, I'd be a little bit worried, right? But if it breaks below 91.54, these guys will be in a good position. Okay? Last but not least, I'm not going to really go in depth too much. This is just something that, you know, shows the power of unusual whales. If you know how to read the flow right, I don't know, you know, I don't post everything is perfect, right? Nothing is perfect. A lot of my tweets, you know, they don't work, right? But that's why you always have to match with your charts. Anyway, I saw SI puts getting hit at the ask. 13 puts for 310 expiration for 448,000. Right? When you see this, especially for these kind of stocks, definitely catches your eye. As you can see, SI, I think there was some news that came out. I don't know exactly the news, but whatever the news was, it's down over 30%. Okay, so these 13 puts are going to open up very nicely. Okay, so I just wanted to end the video on that note. Remember, any flow tweets that you see or any flow that you see, unless you're telling yourself it's a lotto, match it with your charts. Start with a longer time frame. Ask yourself how much you're willing to risk. You never know about these whales, right? Just because these guys are buying millions of dollars worth, you don't know who they are. They might have a much riskier mindset going into these trades. Okay, so always match it with your charts. Have risk management. Start on a longer time frame chart. Start on a daily, the weekly. Right? See where this could be, where it could be a good position to enter. Right? Let the flow work. Right? Sometimes it doesn't take 5 minutes for the trade to work. It may take days. It might take a month. But that's why you add time on your contracts as insurance. I'm going to end it off that. The Poseidon ship is about to sail. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, subscribe, do whatever. Let me know on Twitter or YouTube if this is helpful. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.